What? People get to skip school and they're not sick? I would never go to school.
Hi, my name is Gift Igbin. I am 16 years old.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and I'm old, and I will not tell you how old I am.
Hi, I'm Eli, and I am 16 years old, a teenager.
Hi, I'm Joyce, and I'm 24. I'm an adult.
Today, we're actually gonna be figuring out how strict our parents are.
My parents are Haitian immigrants, so 100%.
They weren't crazy. Well, not that like being strict is crazy. I guess it can be.
My parents were actually the most relaxed people.
Wow, you're still a child. It ain't over yet.
Yeah.
My mom's pretty, she's like perfect. Sometimes she can be extra, but you know I love her.
When you said your mom was perfect, that was the most heartwarming thing. I love you too, Mom.
I think parents now are a little bit more relaxed because you can't really have as much control over your kid like the internet and things because the kid is gonna have access to that regardless, but parents are still parents.
We grew up in like different times. I'm wondering if we will have like very sharp differences.
Every parent's different, so I feel like that will determine a lot.
First one on the checklist, your parents would never let you have dessert first.
100%.
I would not say never. Like,
They just want me to eat.
Yeah.
But so, no,
I
not
wouldn't check
really.
that.
I always eat dessert.
Okay. What? First?
Yeah, all the time.
How are your cavities, young man?
I don't have any cavities. Because I brush twice a day. I'm a good child. Your parents went through your computer history? Yeah, I remember I got in trouble for that once.
And your phone, and your bag, and like everything in your room. That's a little,
Intense.
yeah.
At an early age, I knew the power of delete, so.
Must be
I never
nice
got
I
caught.
didn't. I wasn't a bright child.
My mom did go through my computer history once, and that was not a good time. But other than that, she didn't really go through much because I also feel like she always knew.
She already knows everything I do. I'm on Instagram, checking stuff out, but my bag, not unless she wants to clean it, and then she tells me how dirty it is.
Yeah, my mom went through my phone and my bag
Me too.
and everything in my room.
Yeah.
You had to sneak out to buy CDs and video games and movies. If they found them, they throw them away.
Why would I need CDs, you know? And then movies, that's why we have YouTube.
Back in my day, we had to go to the store.
When I got mail, my parents would open it first to look at it, then put it back in, and then say, "You got mail," as if I didn't realize that.
I think my parents bought most of the CDs, video games, and movies I had, so I never had this problem. And I don't think they would ever throw them away.
I'm surprised it's an option. I feel like you've already spent money on it.
One time I got this free DVD from the Scene Dolls. It got mailed to the house. And my mom was so frightened because there was mail in my name that she destroyed it.
You always had chores to do? Yes.
Definitely, I would get yelled at all the time
Yes.
for doing things.
Still do. I'm sorry, mother.
6 a.m.
I still
Dad-
do chores.
Still?
Yeah.
You know what the sad part is? After you leave your parents' house, every day is chores. And you don't get no money for it.
I don't need to hear that. I'm trying to live my best life.
Anytime I'm sitting down, my dad would be like, "What you doing sitting down? Clean something." I'm like, how many times does a person clean something in a day? There's only so many dishes I have to wash.
They could get dusty.
You know what, don't.
They never talked to you about sex, and if they did, it was only to forbid you from having sex.
I had to talk. It was very uncomfortable.
I did not.
We didn't really actually have the talk. It was something I think I learned about through my brother, because he was older than me.
I didn't know what it was until like sophomore year of high school. Like I knew like the technical term, but I didn't know the actual act.
My mom loved to have a talk. She told me when I was 8. I didn't have questions, she just told me.
Whoa.
You were never allowed to skip school if you weren't sick? Yeah.
What? People get to skip school and they're not sick? I would never go to school.
Oh, I missed days, but it's because I found the perfect sickness that couldn't get proven.
What do you mean?
Diarrhea.
Oh.
I literally would cry if I missed school. But not anymore, not anymore. But that's because it was almost the end of the year, finals, I was trying to avoid that.
Don't tell your mother I told you that.
I won't, because I'm going to try it myself.
You panicked if you saw that you missed a call from your parents. This is a touchy subject.
Yes. All the time.
After 3 or 2 even, and I still haven't answered the phone, maniac. Just don't miss calls.
When my mom says call me, still to this day, my heart stops in my body. And then she'll like talk about something basic like the weather.
So I forwarded the call like to my cell phone in high school. So every time, because I was sneaking out. And I was like good about not missing calls, but one time I missed it. And then my cell phone answered, and she was like, why is your cell phone answering the house? And I was like, oh, I'm at home, I don't know. And she said, okay. And so I knew she was sending someone to my home while I was sneaking out. So I had to like run out of my friend's house, go upstairs, just enough time to get into boxers and a t-shirt, so I looked like I was chilling, and then my aunt knocks on the door, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what's going on.
I would never do that. I would that's just too much effort.
You had to prepare PowerPoint presentations to ask for something big like a dog?
No,
People
do kids
do
do
that?
that?
Not for a dog, but I did have to do that just to get my ears pierced. I had made like a full presentation. I did like what happens if you don't clean them. I did everything. I didn't get them pierced, but it was a good presentation if you ask me.
Well, I would just ask my mom when she was half asleep.
I had to do a PowerPoint presentation on why my parents should extend my curfew from 9:30 to 10. And they still said no. Even when I was in college, it was
The
still
good stuff
9:30.
starts at 10.
It wasn't until sophomore year my mom was like, you could come at 2 a.m. That was pushing it for her because of that PowerPoint, which I will find and bring up.
Nice.
Wait, let's see how strict our parents are.
Okay.
You checked 43 out of 59 on this list. Yep, your parents are actually pretty strict with you.
I got a 10 out of 59, and it says, sounds like your parents gave you enough rules to keep you in line, but they were pretty lax about everything else.
I got 21 out of 59. That means my parents weren't strict, but they had golden rules that could not be messed with. That sums up my household. But I think all the rules in my house were fair.
I got 16 out of 59, and that's surprising to me. Still not that strict. Like, I got the same description. So it's pretty lax with my parents.
If we had to venture a guess, we'd say it's because you were the firstborn or an only child. That's a lie. I'm the middle daughter.
Dang.
You know, at the end of the day, I think, yes, my parents were strict, but they came to this country and they didn't know anything about how this country works. So, of course, they wanted to be strict. They had 3 girls to protect.
I think she did well for me, and I also had a lot of leeway. Well done, mother.